Hello everyone, this is Game Master Mike. Now, as in my last video, you know how I talked about my most rare and valuable games in my collection, and I said a majority of them. Well, I want to discuss to you back in the past when I had my old Sega Genesis about how I wasn't careful with protecting my games back then. Because at that time, for a while, we had the Sega Genesis and the original Game Boy with a few games. Now, like I said, that me and my sisters did not have jobs until after high school. And so we were limited with everything that we've got. Like, for example, we had to rent video games at the local video store. Like, we play them for a week and then we return them and get another one. Remember renting a lot such as Ristar and Marble Madness, for example. And so, I want to tell you all about what we did to our Sega Genesis games back then. Now, I do have some of the original, like, from my last Sega Genesis collection, but, however, to tell you the honest truth, we went bowling with them. We used the cartridges as bowling pins. We juggled them around, threw them all over the place. Let my old dog chew the cartridge. That's what happened with Aladdin and Sonic 3D Blast, like I said in my last video, about the story about Sonic 3D Blast having to go to the video store, sold out all the time. And when I finally got it for Christmas, it was all chewed up and would not play. Well, I'm going to say that it was my fault that didn't take great care of them. And so, therefore, I now have to protect my games. Now, speaking of that, about Christmas of '97, after getting bored with the Sega Genesis and some Game Boy games that I had, you know, I got the Game Boy Color recently. We all saved up and pitched in, and we got the purple one, because there was purple and clear purple. The colors did not came out later. It was my original Game Boy Color, and I was amazed about the color handheld besides the Game Gear. And so, we had Super Mario. The only Game Boy Color that we basically had is Super Mario Brothers DX and Link's Awakening DX. Now, with the original Link's Awakening for the original Game Boy, I remember hitting a hammer with it because apparently the game keeps on crashing, and I thought that would fix the problem. Well, apparently it did not. It would not play after that. You stick it in, nothing. So I basically destroyed the cartridge, which sucked. And so, that's why we bought another Link's Awakening DX, which featured an extra dungeon, which we were very pleased of. And so, I took my Game Boy. It was a field trip while I was in the 4th grade to Gettysburg. I took the Game Boy Color. I sort of not asked my sisters, and I had Super Mario 64 DX Super Mario Brothers DX with me. And so I was like playing it on the bus, playing it everywhere. During reenactments, I sort of panned out my Game Boy and played it. And so one time walking down the steps, I wasn't careful, so the Game Boy slipped out of my pocket and it fell all the way downstairs, and it broke. The screen shattered, the game got stuck in, and uh-oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And so, in a secret way, I told my grandpa all about it, and this is when we came back, and he bought me another one. He bought me a green one. So I was very happy for it. And started playing it, and I was very amazed. Now, the story with the Nintendo 64, because we did not get it until '97. And we got like a few games with it. Like I said, we did not have jobs. Parents are strict about money. We had to like beg my parents for money to get games. And we gotta like save up our allowances. So that was sort of a hassle. And so the games that is very limited, because I remember like getting some, like renting a lot of video games from the video store for the Nintendo 64. I remember renting like Mischief Makers, oddball games like Glover, Beetle Racing, which is very neat. And after that, remember the GameCube was out, and we wanted the GameCube real bad. And so we sold a majority of our Nintendo 64 collection, like almost all of it, so we can have money for the GameCube. And so we had to buy it. So we bought the GameCube. It wasn't until after we got it that we stopped selling games, trying to build up our collection. And so since then, my video game collection has expanded. And this just gives you a point that be careful protecting your video games. Do not let harm get out of its way. Do not use your Sega Genesis or NES cartridges with the bowling pins or anything like that. So I just want to give you a heads up. And there you go, folks. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more.